Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that speaks for itself. I'm a stats guy. I love that. You know what I'm saying? And that's highly successful. What was this touchdown to rate? That was what, 5-1 rate, 4-1 touchdowns to
Yeah,
interception rate, something like that.
I'm gonna go through the stats again. So Jared Goff's played a total of 48 games for the Lions. He started off 48 games. Passing yards, 12,121. Touchdowns, 77. Interceptions, 22. Passer rating of 95.5.
Yeah.
That speak for itself.
And if you
I
look at
mean,
this
that
season alone, 5 of those picks came against Houston. And 3 of those
yeah,
were like,
Yeah.
you can argue that 4 of those picks wasn't even his fault. It's
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like I get it from the national media perspective. I know some Lions fans or some Detroit sports fans in general, bless you, who take it as, and I get it, the whole Detroit versus everybody attitude, because it seems like all of our pro teams get treated like that. The only team here in Michigan that doesn't get treated like that by the national media is the University of Michigan. Everyone else gets trashed. Tigers get trashed nationally. Pistons get trashed. Lions get trashed. So part of it, I do believe, is the fact that Goff does play for the Lions. If Shanahan would have traded for Jared Goff 4 years ago and he played this to this level, the narrative on Goff would be completely different. But you're in Detroit. You're with this goofball head coach. He's talking about biting kneecaps. The Lions are losers. They've already always been losers. Sean McVay didn't feel like he could win with you. He got you. He immediately won without you. A lot of people just don't want to believe that a player now. But Daniels, and for you about this and get your opinion about it, because I think we've talked about this. What do you make of the narrative that's been pushed all week that Jaden Daniels is a better player? Because, like I said, there's a complete difference between being more talented and being a better player.
Well, one, talk shows they have to have a topic to talk about, right? So that's one, right? And look, he's had a great rookie season. He
yeah.
really has, right? When you look at the franchise as a whole, what it's been through, and them hiring Dan Quinn, and Cliff Kingsbury to run the offense, and just the turnaround that they've had. So I think it just makes it a little bit easier to talk about that. But I mean, look, he's had a great season. He really has, and I wasn't expecting him to win last week. And he was able to pull up a drive, do a drive last minute of the game to kick a field goal to win the game. And I honestly wasn't expecting that. So, he's impressed me a lot this season.
Facts. Facts, man. I just wanted to hit on that too. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Jaden Daniels been fantastic, man. You know what I'm saying? I liked him coming out of the draft. I thought that, he was arguably more talented than Caleb Williams, you know what I'm saying? Which I thought Caleb was better by a hair, throwing the football, decision making, stuff like that. Talent, more raw ability goes to Jaden Daniels, but I think Caleb Williams is more structured to be like throw it to A, B, and C, follow your reads, that kind of thing. I didn't think Jaden Daniels was more polished, but I think he flipped the script on that narrative. Listen, his game, the game they beat Philly, I think it was in the last seconds. Very
Yeah, it
impressive.
was a
I thought,
got
you know what I'm
there.
saying?
Yeah, I think they were down double digits in the fourth quarter, and they came
Yeah,
back and won. But
yeah,
yeah, that was
rightfully
impressive.
so. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta give a young guy credit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give a young QB,
Mhm.
his due, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily saying you slighting the Lions or anything like that. The fact of the matter is, what he's doing is historical. You know what I'm saying? And the team, the coaching staff has given him the football and allowed him to make those decisions, man. And he's made the right decisions. I mean, that's the proof's in the pudding on that. Me and Walt was talking during the pre-show. Um, this team is what 13-5 now. And then they wound up when they won 6 straight, including the playoff. They haven't lost since November 24th. I mean, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? With a rookie quarterback, but like I said, the teams they've beaten hasn't been impressive. Tampa was impressive. It was a playoff game.
A
Yeah,
win's a
yeah,
win.
exactly. I mean, you play who on your schedule, right? Tennessee, New Orleans, Philly, Atlanta,
Yeah.
and Dallas. So Yeah, I could see it. But I do get irritated with the total disrespect of Jared Goff, man. It's just to me, I think I'm more confident than I was last year with Goff. Coming into like this playoff, I just believe that, man. Whatever Washington does in this game, they can score a bunch of points. I just believe we're going to score more. Just what Dan Campbell said. I think
Yeah.
if they score
Yeah.
44, we're going to score 45 and win the game. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, but also, but at the same time, if you're Jared Goff, I don't know, I might maybe like this. Give me
Oh
more
no, we
fuel.
love
You
it.
tell me the other guy's
Yeah,
better than me. All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna show
yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
I think the
Fidel
Lions
right, and I was
overall
going to
love
say that
it.
too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like when
Yeah,
And
it
look,
just seems like when you're expected to win. For us, I think this city, you said it, Wall. You hit the nail on the head. I think this city, we like the underdog, the you know the us against the
it
world.
gets
We
annoying
got
though,
hey
man.
Detroit. It is this.
Yeah,
hey, but honestly, I don't think you guys are anymore. You guys should
but
win this
for
football game.
people who have
You guys should win
football
next
common
weekend.
sense, yeah. But
Yeah,
you still
that
get, I think, as a Lions fan, you get this feeling that okay, y'all just intentionally picking anybody against us every single step of the way. Like, remember, we beat the Vikings back in week 7. The entire national media, for maybe except what, maybe 2% of them, had Minnesota coming in here in week 18 and
Mm.
beating us. You also heard people having predictions in the national media about us playing the Rams and Stafford being, us being against the odds because we won the last 2 against the Rams. If the Rams get another opportunity against us, they're going to beat us. And Philadelphia, from top to bottom,
They're not
the
gonna beat you
Eagles are
guys.
better than us. And now you have to hear it's not about, I think, slighting or disrespecting Jaden Daniels, but facts are facts. This dude is a rookie. Well, you can say he's not a rookie anymore because he's played
yeah,
more games this year than he would have played last year at LSU or any other college, but
yeah,
he's still a kid. And he still only has 18 career starts. And if you look at the rosters, the
Yeah,
secondary against our receivers, the
yeah.
defensive front against our running backs and our offensive line,
That's a
the
mismatch.
coaching matchup,
It's
all
a
of it,
mismatch.
we're at home. It's a prime
Yeah.
time game. It just feels like, and just when was the last time you seen a 15-win team get treated like this by the media? Everybody's better than you. We're gonna, yep, you guys got away with it
mhm.
one more week, but next week the NFL's gonna catch up with you and expose you guys. Like, I don't remember the last time a 14, 15-win team got treated this terrible as far as the media.
I think a big deal in all this
Injuries.
is injuries too. You
But
guys are missing how
they've
many
been
players?
wrong every
You guys
step of the
have
way
more than
though.
10
Like,
players.
they've been
16.
saying injury is gonna
I
catch up
understand
with us
that.
since week
I
8.
understand that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying that's a part of it though.
Yeah, Fidel's right.
Right? I mean, you guys are missing some
Yeah,
you
because
guys are
you could
missing some
say,
dudes,
well,
man.
since we lost Aiden Hutchinson, I mean, that narrative was out the window. You know what I'm saying? Then losing McNeil, we're losing Marcus Davenport, you know what I'm saying? Losing Derek Barnes. Oh my goodness. Was
Anzalone
huge,
coming
man.
back
That's
for you
huge.
guys
That's
was
gonna be a
big.
key in this game too. We need him and
Couple
Jack
weeks
Campbell
back.
to
So
stay home and corral Jaden Daniels. And I think that Jack Campbell is
yeah.
sure tackler, man. He should be there when he needs to be there. That's a big time assignment for those two guys. But I trust them. Anzalone, listen, he's the one guy that came back and it was like he changed everything. I think what I'm saying, defensively. What I'm saying, like how we want to cover, how aggressive, how much space we give it. Listen, this Aaron Glenn defense is all about space, opportunity, blitzing, getting home. You got to get home. Listen, everything Jack Campbell's went through, excuse me, guys, everything Jack Campbell's went through, his experience, I totally trust him in this spot, man. I think Jack
Yeah.
ready because I think he had a slow start coming in his career. I think this is going to be, forget talking about Jaden Daniels for a second. Let's give it up to some of these guys that we got on defense, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Jack Campbell, I think Taron Arnold could be a little bit more confident this week, man, just knowing that he's got some guys with him. You know what I'm saying? It's listen, Taron Arnold not a rookie no more. You know what I mean? It's always,
Yeah.
he's the butt of all the jokes and he getting cooked and everything like that. But man, playoff football is different. You know what I'm saying? And I think it does. You get unlikely heroes that show up and win the game. Tim Patrick is another guy. I think Tim Patrick gonna have a huge game, man. I think him and the emergence of Sam Laporta coming back like stronger. It seems like Laporta the last 4 or 5 games
Thank
are
you.
coming on too. And to me, that's just too much. I mean, it's just devastating for Washington to know, that they can't match up at certain times in the game. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they have a decent
Man,
offense. I mean, Austin Eckler's
we're better.
okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just
We're
trying to be
better.
nice.
Yeah.
We better.
We
We're
ain't got to be
better.
nice. Everybody been disrespecting us, but they expect us to be so PC and be so respectful of our opponents while we get disrespected. Our receiving core is better from top to bottom. You can argue whether you
Look.
think McLaurin's better than St. Brown or they 1A and 1B or however you feel about it. But St. Brown's numbers are blowing his out the water career-wise already so far. Like I said, our receiving core from top to bottom is better. Our tight end is better. Zach Ertz has more experience, but right now, Sam Laporte is better. Both of our tackles are better. We're better on the interior of our offensive line, even though that's kind of one of our weaknesses right now, but we're still better than them. It's just this, and I get it during the playoffs, you have to sell hope. Everybody roots for a Cinderella. Same thing during March Madness. Everybody roots for, saying that the underdog, especially if you're a rookie and you're the new hot shot talent in the league. They're gonna root for you. I get it.
What's
But
the kid?
it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Fidel, well, correct me if I'm wrong. What's the guy for Kansas City? What's the running back? Can't think of the name. Williams.
Isaiah Pacheco
no,
or
that won the
Kareem
MVP. I'm just trying to make
Damian
a point
Williams.
Damian Williams. I couldn't think of his name when they won it.
He won MVP of the Frisco series, the Frisco Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is just what I'm saying. What my point I'm trying to make is playoff brings out other guys sometimes. Okay, that like you wouldn't expect. This guy to be like, damn, this guy can play, or this guy can be a difference maker. And I think the Lions are going to figure out here these 2 games that they're going to be able to lean on some guys that we maybe didn't have to during the season. You know what I'm saying?
I got a name. I got a name for you. I've been telling you guys since last March about this dude, former Raider, Amik Robertson.
Yeah, he been.
You know what he does. You saw what he did to Justin Jefferson.
I don't think it was a fluke. I don't think it was a fluke. I think my man can cover. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least he was up for the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because they had I didn't know they had a lot of history like that, him and Justin Jefferson, but yeah, it was good to see. Fidel, you did call it. You called it at the beginning of the season,
And then also look, man, both Aaron Glenn. Oh my God, I'm drawing blanks. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. They're both going to leave, probably taking head coaching jobs after the season's over, right? So it's one last ride. I think this game is going to be an Aaron Glenn special. He's going to make the young kid uncomfortable in the pocket. He holds the ball for about 2.5 seconds a game. So you guys need to get pressure, and if he holds the ball, make him pay for it.
Yeah. Facts. Lamar, what's going on? Fellas?
What's going on, man? Nice of you to join us today.
Yeah, somebody joined us. Somebody said, good question. I think Brent brought up Chris Rodriguez in the roster. He is on the roster. I don't think he's hurt or nothing. Yeah, he's active.
No,
I
think played a couple weeks back.
Austin Eckler been taking most of the snaps, but
I just woke up.
Yeah, him and Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that they're so dominated by one player offensively that it makes it hard to beat a complete football team. This is like the NBA where the team with the most stars win, or the team with the superstar has the advantage in a 7-game series most of the time. Like, this is football. And how often do you see one quarterback or one wide receiver, one running back, or one tight end that doesn't have all the necessary ancillary help? Now, can it happen? Sure, but if it happens tonight, you can bet your last dollar that it's going to be because Detroit didn't show up. There's nothing about Washington that says man for man, player for player, they're going to walk into Detroit and out Detroit. Now, if Detroit
So
suffers an injury here and there, or we have one of those sleepwalking games that good team, everybody can have where 2 or 3 turnovers, things happen, bad calls here or there. We sleepwalk through the first half and find ourselves down by double digits or whatever. Things can happen. We were supposed to beat Tampa Bay back in week 2, and what happened? We slept walk through the game. We went 0 for 5 in the red zone, which is something we don't do too often. And it was just one of those games. But if people are betting on hope, and Fidel, you gamble from time to time a little bit.
a little bit.
Shanti, what is really the number one rule to gambling? Remove your damn emotions. And if you're a person gambling your money, because there's a difference between who you picking to win and who you smart enough to bet your damn money on. I don't see anybody betting
Yeah.
money on Washington. They talking a whole lot of shit though about how Washington's gonna beat us. I don't see nobody putting their money where their mouth is though. That's the whole thing. And like I said, I get it, man. Having Jayden Daniels, but people saw this with CJ Stroud last year. Towards the end of the
Yeah,
season, oh,
exactly.
CJ Stroud is a top 4 quarterback in the league. That's ridiculous. Can we just calm it down a little bit?
Yeah, and we do remember what happened last in the postseason last year when he went to
Yeah,
Baltimore.
they beat Cleveland in the first round and then went to Baltimore and
Yep.
then they lost to a better team. And we made that comparison earlier in the week that this is similar to what they went through last season. Okay, if you're Washington, you beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. Any given Sunday, they can beat you, a good team, by 17 points, or they can lose to a worse team by 17. But you got that win. Now in the second round, the competition gets a little stiffer. Like, you're not going to be favored against Detroit. It's not, because the
No.
numbers just don't say it. Now, it's the better quarterback doesn't always win. Even if you feel like Jayden's better, is the coaching staff better matchup wise? Is the defense better? Is the receiving core better? Is the offensive line better? None of that's better. And
And this is a yeah, no, but I mean them going into a hostile environment. What Detroit's going to be tonight,
Mhm.
right? A team that has not played a playoff game yet since losing the NFC Championship against the Niners, a game that they should have won, right? So you're thinking about all these different emotions these players are going through. They're going to be ready and they're going to be up for this game because they know what it means. Hey, we win tonight. We go back to the NFC Championship game. We all remember what Dan Campbell said to that team in the locker room, right? That it was not a promise that they were going to be back.
yeah,
Things change. Things happen, right? Think about what this team's gone through. How many injuries? How many? More than 10 players, right?
yeah.
On the IR. So,
yeah.
I mean, this team has gone through a lot. So I think the Lions are going to be up for tonight's game.
Lamar.
I just want to say I'm sorry, guys. I just woke up.
Tomorrow, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah. We got the kids. We got the cousins over. I just want to say that I've been very nice to the Commanders fans and people, and God bless them. I've been very nice. I've done collaborations with them. I've been very astute, been very nice. I'm wearing a green thing and I got a green screen on. This is wild. Anyway, I got a green hoodie on with a green screen. Oh man, that's why I was looking crazy. I'm a ghost, just like Sam Darnold be saying. I just want to say, the Cinderella story is over. I just want to say today, I've been very nice. I've been respectful. I've collaborated. I've deliberated. I've broken bread. I've done everything very nice to the Commanders people. I've shown them where the Coney Island's at. I told them where to get Coney Island from. Now it's time to put a foot where it needs to go. And, unfortunately, for me, we got too much stuff. Top 5 in red zone offense, top 5 in red zone defense. We got way too much stuff for them. Top 5 in third down conversions, top 5, and it's over. It's we got JMO on the outside. We got Amon Ross St. Brown. They got St. Juice. It's not working. It was a great story while it lasted. It was great while it was doing. It was great. It was so nice. All they talk about is 5. I appreciate that. I love that. That's all they have. They know if they remove 5 and insert Mariota, who's the number 2 guy, they know they are done. They're cooked. They wouldn't even be in this position. They'd be picking first in the draft, and that's probably a better team than Tennessee. But yeah, I look. I'm just happy that this chapter of our lives can be over. Uh, when the Lions punch their ticket and do what they need to do. So wave goodbye to our little friends that have been talking with us and doing stuff with us, and it's over. It's too much stuff. Third down defense. We got 4 players on offense with 1,000 yards. One of the Redskin fans said, Jameer Gibbs ain't a real running back. He's a split time running back. This dude got 1,800 yards on the season.
Led the league in touchdowns.
They didn't see him play week the last week of the season, the week before that.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting too what Lamar said, because I feel like that too. It's almost like we watch this team, the pattern of what we've done, like to other teams, right? It's almost like, and I think Brent might have said it. Yeah, we'll wear them down, and that's what I'm saying. I think obviously I could see maybe I keep calling Redskins. Commanders come out, maybe score first or something like that, and then the game is nip and tuck at halftime. And I think that third quarter we just pull away. That's how I feel, man. I think this is gonna be a game of big plays, and I think if Washington can convert on one of those splash plays or get Jaden Daniels, all he needs is a crease to get a big play. You know what I'm saying? So I could see the game being close by halftime, but I just think, like Lamar said, we got too many weapons, man. Too many things for them to account for them to be able to keep up, man. I think if they want to score with us, that's fine, but we're going to score more, because I just believe that if we put our foot on the gas, I think we can beat anybody. That's why I think we going to the bowl, man, because I think that we're the only team other than maybe Buffalo that I've seen offensively that can score the points, and you can put Baltimore in there too. So,
yeah, I mean, to me, you got to high tempo offense. You got to go, get these guys worn out. You got to score touchdowns, not field goals when you can, and not give this team any hope. Put your foot on the throat. By the in the first half, game should be over.
Yeah,
I was just talking to one.
Score 7, not 3.
I was talking to one of them, and we played a game called Switcheroo. I told him, look, I'm gonna be a Commanders fan, and you're gonna be a Lions fan. Tell me why you're gonna win. And I put him in a frame of mind of what he said. He rattled off all the Lions stats and everything. I rattled off, we got 5. That's it. That's all they have. One person, one player. That's it. And he is very young. He hasn't been in this environment. He's very mature, very great. 6-game winning drives, in the last 5 minutes, immediately. You can go back to the press clippings. He's a great player, great dude. We're gonna send him packing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 48-5, 21. We have thoroughly gassed him up and said happy to be here. Thoroughly.
And then what I wanted to add to guys is you've given Aaron Glenn the luxury of keeping excuse me. You've given Aaron Glenn the luxury of about, what has it been, about 5 weeks since McNeil went out. So what I'm saying is we've had big continuity with Zadarius Smith, El Kadim, Muhammad, Levi, and Pascal, right? Those are the 4 guys that predominantly has been in there. So now I think that now them guys are comfortable enough now where, man, I think that they know their roles and that they've played together a little, enough. They practice, they've schemed now. With the defense on the back end is still intact, man. I think that we're still strong. I really do. I think we could be stronger going into these last 3 games, which we wasn't. It was kind of unknown mystery, and that's when everybody was falling off the bandwagon. But I think now Aaron Glenn has shown that he could make it happen, man. The last 2 years without the talent we had at the beginning of this year. So what I'm saying is to have what we have, and it's been 5 weeks since we've had a catastrophic injury. They've made strides, and I'm telling you, I'm willing to go with Anzarique. Those guys I mentioned, I'm good. The defensive line is okay. I was kind of hoping Pat O'Connor play because he kind of was a wild card. You know what I mean? As you know, he can give you 5 or 6 good snaps, good pressures up the middle, but I think they'll figure it out. I think it'll be more Melifonwu plays. That'll be huge. I'm expecting Melifonwu to just come out of his I don't even want to say time capsule and just rescue the day, man. I really do think that he's going to be a guy that's going to be heavily used in these next 3 games. So,
Yeah, I wanted to just bring up a few more statistics for people, just to completely put this game full scale in the perspective. Okay, so offensively, what is the number one thing Detroit does really good, and everyone around the league knows they do really good?
Run the ball.
run the ball.
Okay, all right. So the Commanders on the season, they are 30th in the league in rushing yards given up.
Whew.
They are 18th in the league in rushing touchdowns given up. They are 28th in the league in yards per carry given up. They're 25th in the league in rushing attempts given up, which directly points to the fact that teams recognize they can run the football on you and they willingly do it. 25th in the league in rushing attempts given up. Okay, can Detroit come out and get outside of themselves and feel like, you know what, we're going to throw the football all over these dudes. We're going to play horizontal football. We're going to paper cut down the field and punch them in the mouth, this and that. It's possible. I don't think this team is going to fall into that mind frame. If you be honest about it, since the Tampa Bay game earlier in the season, that was the last time they had a habit of falling into that mindset. Since Tampa, they learned, and they've been kicking ass ever since then. They've been staying true to who they are, identity-wise. If they come out, so how is it supposed to happen? Washington hasn't been able to stop the run all season, so miraculously, they can go out tonight, and they can hold Detroit to like 70 yards rushing on 28 carries.
So you're telling me that? So you're telling me to bet the over on the rushing yards with Gibbs and
I would.
Montgomery?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Yeah,
definitely.
sir.
I think J-Mo, Tim Pack gonna be a nightmare, man. I just don't see him covering all these guys. How the hell are you gonna cover them all? You know what I'm saying? And Marshawn Lattimore he had problems. You know what I'm saying? Last week with Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying?
Mike Easy.
Yeah, Mike
He
Easy
had big issues with him.
Yep. And then what's my man from Michigan, Sanders Steele, he's found a place in the
Mikey.
league. You know, Mikey, but he's not. I mean, he's physical. He remind me of Jabril Peppers a little bit in a better way. You know what I'm saying? He can play ball, but I just don't. And Lamar mentioned St. Jude's. I just don't see him having the guy. You got to have some guys in the secondary to be a completer team.
Right.
And I think that's where it is. The Jameson didn't listen. We didn't even mention Jameson Williams. That's
No,
you
sir.
can't even coach what he has. You can't even coach against that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I just see them getting beat deep. You know, maybe a couple times. You know, if we connect on those passes, that's curtain. The crowd gets more into it, electrify. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Just deflating. I just think there's going to be too much to overcome. You know what I mean? So.
Also, and I think Lamar, you brought this up the other day about, or was it Joe Chat? Somebody brought it up the other day about the lack of downfield shots Washington has in their offense. And Aaron Glenn kind of on the slide brought that up in an interview a few days ago. Like he never sounded that confident going into a game all season about the plan that they had. And for a team that only takes shots downfield 9.7% of the time throughout the game, throughout the season, that kind of plays into what we like to do. Think
Yeah.
about it. Teams who have like a big time wide receiver, a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, a CD Lamb, or whatever, we're used to, as Lions fans, seeing that one guy have 9 catches for 210 and 2 touchdowns or whatever. Because those types of teams get their big time start of football. Washington doesn't do that. So if you're going to erase Terry McLaurin from your offensive game plan for us, we're happy. Oh, y'all not gonna throw this dude the ball? No problem. We can play the defense the way we want to play now. Oh, y'all want a paper cut down the field? You want to call these delays for jading up the middle? Okay, no problem. We can
Quarterback
play
counter.
more 4-4 fronts. Yep, yep. And then that's the thing. We talked about this earlier. You can play. There's defensive fronts that you can play to slow this dude down. We saw what they did against Darnold. You can play more 4-man fronts. You can funnel everything. You pretty much build a cone around the pocket. Keep him in the middle of the offensive line between the tackles, force him to look over people, force him to make those big time throws downfield, which is not what he likes to do. And he does get rid of the ball very, very quickly as well. But you can only get rid of the ball very, very quickly if people are open. If people aren't open and we're jamming people and we're fire zoning and we're confusing you completely, you can't play fast. And we talked about that earlier in the week. Stop him from playing fast.
He's got a
He
lot
likes
of
to
deep
play
throws on
fast.
tape. He's got a lot of deep throws on tape, and he has 110 average percentage, in that
Yeah.
deep left and the deep right of the field. I don't know why they're saying he can't throw deep now. It's
No, not that he can't, but he just doesn't. It's the percentage is so high because they don't throw it as much. I think that's the whole thing. Because it's only 9.7% of the time. So
that's
if you're very selective in your deep throws, it's easy to have a high percentage. Aside from a guy who maybe like Josh Allen, who may have a higher percentage. I think that's probably what it is. That's why the numbers look as clean as they do, because Dan Quinn and he are very, very selective in how they calculate those deep shots downfield. They don't just force things downfield a lot either.
yeah. There's a lot of deep throws downfield. He got. I'm surprised they gave him 9%. That's awful, but this team is not gonna win, bro. It's just they've been like a loud fan, and they've been happy to be here and stuff. But I don't think they have it from a scheme perspective. Like, how do you expect to stop Jameson Williams? Like, let's say JD5 is just the worst thing for our defense in the world. What happens when we go on the field?
That's what I said. That's exactly how I feel about it. They can't if they
Our
score
offense doesn't
40,
matter.
yeah, right. If they score 40, bro, we gonna score 45. That's how I feel.
Best offensive line in the league.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean too, and let's get just a gauge on the coaching. I think that Fidel brought up a good I forgot, I didn't forget, but because I don't follow the Commanders every week like that, was Cliff Kingsbury being the offensive coordinator. I think it's basically him versus Ben Johnson, man. Because Cliff Kingsbury might, want a job, or I don't know if he desires to be a coach. Probably, I'm pretty sure he does. But what I'm saying is, it could be a battle between those two guys. You know what I'm saying? Just from a coaching standpoint, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury has been, aware of what the Lions have been doing, and he's been called a mad scientist as well. Ben Johnson's kind of taken the luster off his name basically the last 2 years and kind of inserted himself as the best play caller offensively in the league, that type of thing. So it may be a little back and forth with them guys too. I think that's really intriguing, on the coaching side, and then having Dan Quinn and then Dan Campbell go against each other, Quinn has it's been noteworthy to say that they went for it a lot on fourth down too, this year, and they've made more at a percentage wise than the Lions have. So that's another thing where, remember when Minnesota and the Lions played, Minnesota's kind of out of their element. Kevin O'Connell's kind of trying to match the Lions' energy on fourth down, but this might be a game where I think one of our listeners even said it already. The punters might not even punt in this game, man. You know what I mean? I think both teams might be just going for it like crazy. So no matter where you at, you could be at your own 28-yard line on 4th and 5. Dan will go for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting to coach and, the little inner situations that's gonna come up in this game. I just Lord forbid if it's a close game. And the more I think about it, I don't think it's gonna be. I think the fourth quarter is kind of gonna be like on cruise control. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I just think the third quarter is our quarter, and we're gonna just bust the game open. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. I think DeWitt brought it up, and if it wasn't Brent,
yeah,
I apologize for giving out the wrong name. But someone made a comment in the section a little earlier about typically this team. You can compare it to a boxing match. They'll jab. Same thing they did with Minnesota. They'll jab. They'll stay behind that jab for the first 4, 5, 6 rounds till they finally start opening you up. Then they start going to the body. Then the next thing you know, you're finished. You ever notice how even Houston started like really, really good against us? And I talked about that was something people didn't take into account with that Charger game. Like if you haven't seen Houston all season, that defensive front, the playoffs is the absolute worst time to see Houston for the very first time. Look how we looked in the first half against
Yeah.
Houston. You know, unless you have something that a team that can put forth that type of pressure, it's not really going to happen. You know, and Washington doesn't have it. It is what it is. Like I said, it's tough that people want us as Lions fans to not be confident, show some respect, don't be arrogant, give Washington all this credit and this and that. That's bullshit for me because nobody's giving it to us. They want to consistently disrespect us and in the same breath tell us to respect somebody else. Think about how Minnesota treated us, how Minnesota Vikings fans treated us.
oh, they fans
Both
are
both
diabolical, man.
games.
Oh, it was crazy.
Man, those
Calm
divisional
down.
rivals, though,
You guys
man.
are
That's
too
different.
confident. You guys are too arrogant. 31-9. It happens, man. I just think that this team is Washington's running into a buzzsaw right now.
Look, I'm just hoping for a good game.
I ain't
don't know
hoping
if
for
we're
that.
gonna
I'm
get
hoping
it. I
for a
know
blowout
last
by
weekend.
Detroit.
I know you're not.
I
know
want to be
you're
sitting
not.
around
At
third
least a
quarter
good
eating my
offensive performance
burgers.
from you guys. All right, good. Yeah, look, I hope you guys win. I think you guys will win. Obviously, the key is you got to stop number 5. You stop him, this thing doesn't
Man,
go
we got to
anywhere.
be ourselves.
Right, so that's the key of the game.
The hell with 5. We got to be ourselves. If we go out there and we play the way we can play,
but who can beat you?
I don't
5
think
can beat
not
you.
by himself.
You need to stop 5. Not
So
by
he's gonna
himself,
need some
but
guys to
obviously
step
he's a
up.
huge part in what they do.
He's gonna need some help, though.
What it is for that, I agree. He can create opportunities, okay, for them to have a shorter field. You know what I'm saying? Less plays. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think. But this is why I think it may come into trouble. To beat the Lions, you're going to have to salt the clock, I think. And I don't know if they're good enough yet up front or on running game to do that. You know what I'm saying? Philly is maybe the only team that can probably do that, and maybe Baltimore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you can run the ball and kind of keep our offense off the field. I don't think Washington can do it, but Jaden Daniels running the ball. The only way Jaden Daniels, I think, can make this game interesting if he just constantly scoring at will like that on our defense, making us, which is going to be a good thing. I think we'd be baiting them into play how we want to play, where it's a 48-45 game. I don't see it being a low-scoring game at all because Jaden Daniels has got to run it up, I think. So.
Commanders fan got 5.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
So, I mean, I want to just switch gears a little bit because I think that the all 4 games, Houston, Kansas City don't do nothing for me, man. I just feel like the Chiefs gonna pile drive that team, man. I don't know.
But you know what? I do want to see. Well, I don't want to see this because I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I do want to I want to see this offense kind of get back to who they are, because essentially they've been an enigma all season. And I know they went 15 and what was it, 15-1?
Or no, 2.
Anyways,
they lost to Denver and Buffalo.
Okay, yeah, last year, to Denver. But we really haven't seen a good flow of the offense for Kansas City all year long, essentially, right? To me, they kind of looked a little bit better whenever Kareem Hunt is in running the football than Isaiah Pacheco. He still doesn't seem right to me from that injury. You got Travis Kelce's a shell of himself, right? Typically, he shows up during the playoffs, so we'll see how he plays tonight. I think Justin, one of the defensive backs that broke his ankle back in week 6. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. He's coming back today for the Chiefs, so that's going to be a big thing. But yeah, man, just that game doesn't really do much for me. It's a tune-up game for KC for next weekend.
Are we sure though?
Yeah,
How
I
I
mean,
mean, actually, how sure percentage wise are both
Yeah,
of y'all,
I'm
man?
pretty damn
'Cause,
sure.
I mean, Houston can score if they
99.9%.
can generate, and that's the problem with Kansas City. Like, if you can score on them a little bit and pull them out of that comfortability element, because they've been like this. And Fidel, you mentioned this season, they've been like this since Tyreek left. Like, the offense has been like this since that dude left.
I felt like this offense was better last year
That ain't saying
than it was this
much.
year.
mhm.
I know. But hey, they
I
won the
think
They
Super Bowl
did.
Isaiah
though, right?
Pacheco gonna be big, man. I think him running the football.
He doesn't like right to
I
Yeah,
me
don't
though.
think he's patient enough as a running back. I've been
yeah,
saying they need to replace him for he's okay, but I
yeah,
think he's not patient enough as a back.
yeah. Of course, I agree. I just think that this is a game that Mahomes. I totally expect him to win. Because the Houston's. I'm not saying it, but this is what I do like though. Any team that can run in the playoffs, I think it does means that Joe Mixon and running with authority. I do like that about them boys.
And he's
Mhm.
beat up. I mean, I think he's gonna play, but he's not fully healthy. But again, who is
Right.
fully healthy on
Mhm.
January 18th?
Yeah, yeah,
Talking
Right?
about who? So we talking
So
about Damian Pierce, perhaps? I
yeah.
like Pierce.
I don't see it,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't see it. I think Houston's gonna get
Yeah, I
routed.
think the most intriguing game is the Rams and the Eagles, man. I really just I don't know who's gonna win the game. If it's the first time, I mean, I'm gonna pick the Eagles. I really am because I think I'm just going off of Saquon Barkley. I'm just thinking they've been riding him all season, man. With that offensive line, I think they get it done barely, but
I'll give you another one though. Also, the weather's going to be
yeah,
a huge factor in that game. It's
snowing.
supposed to be snowing.
Mhm.
It's going to be cold. Yeah, you give Saquon,
Yep.
give
I
him the
love the
ball,
Rams
let
way
him
the
do the
boys playing,
job.
man. The D line is something
But
else.
again,
Yeah.
but also the part of the game that the Eagles need to improve on is that offensive passing game. AJ Brown cannot just have
Read
one
books.
catch.
I'm gonna sit on the sideline and read a book.
Read books on the sideline. By the way, that is the number one selling book now.
Oh
If
yeah.
you weren't aware, the AJ Brown effect. Yeah, this book is sold over
Yeah.
1 million copies the last 5 days.
Yeah.
So, and I'll,
It just they don't look right.
but
The
yeah,
Eagles haven't looked right. I think
Since the
Walt,
Super
you
Bowl.
said it since the Super, and you've been there. You've been spot on. Last year they didn't look right. You know what I'm saying?
again, they should have won.
Right when it come down to it. Yep. If you look back at that, they should have won AI opportunities. But
But yeah, but the passing game is not there for
yep.
whatever
And
reason.
now Devontae
Is it
Smith.
on, is it on
Now
Jalen
Devontae
Hurts?
Smith is a dog. I mean that guy is a
No,
dog.
that's my guy. That's my
Yep.
guy.
And they barely. It just seemed like he gets 1 or 2 balls a game if he's lucky, and if he makes something out of it, he makes something out of it. But
A lot of the routes that they run are slants. So can Jalen not throw deep?
He's not. How can I put this, man? Because I was like a huge supporter of Jalen Hurts early.
It's like they have him in a bubble.
He's not the most advanced thrower of the football. That's the whole thing. If you look at what they did, and they did lose the offense coordinator after the Super Bowl season, but if you look at how they played football offensively before the Kansas City Chiefs lost, and then everything seems to have, from a philosophy standpoint, just fall apart. It was a lot of play action. It was a lot of RPO. It was a lot of zone runs with him, getting him out there in space. Teams figured out how to make him uncomfortable. If you take away those rushing lanes, they also don't run him as much either, though. But if you take away those rushing lanes, funnel him in the pocket, force him to make reads, not be off schedule all the time, because he's another guy that likes to be off schedule and bounce around and rotate from tackle to tackle and let guys get open. If you don't let him do all that backyard football and you force him to be a structured quarterback, this is what he looks like. And it's looked like this since that Kansas City Chiefs loss. And that's the issue I have with them. Like, how are they supposed to win? Now, you can say, for people who are Eagles fans, to say they're going to beat Detroit because their defense is going to beat our offense. They're going to shut our offense down. And then offensively, the Eagles are just going to run the football all over us. How are you going to run the football all over us if you have no threat of throwing the football downfield? You have, two $30 million receivers? And if I'm Detroit, I don't think they're any threat at all because you won't throw them the football. So you're gonna allow us to play closer to the line of scrimmage to stop the run, if we can stop the run.
Yeah. Look, last week the Rams fans gave me a lot of shit because I picked the Vikings to win. I shouldn't have done that. But this week, the Eagles are going to win. No way in hell the Rams are going to win this football game. Any Rams fan that's watching out there and you want to put your money where your mouth is, please let me know because the Eagles are winning this football game.
I feel the same way. I think the Eagles, as much as I would love for the Rams to do it, because I would love for the Rams to do.
Don't overthink it. Well,
What
Eagles are winning.
Well, hold up. More importantly, the -6. That's what people care about.
They're
You think
covering.
the Eagles will? I don't know, man.
I do too.
I don't know. I'm kind of with you in the sense that I do understand, and this was the death sentence for Minnesota. You're not physical enough to really run the football consistently. And going into that game, I felt like they would beat the Rams because the Rams, from a physical standpoint up front, their front seven, they're not built to stop the run. They're built to get after the quarterback. And what did Minnesota do? They played right into the Rams' hands. Oh, so y'all not going to take advantage of the fact that we small as hell up front and run the ball down our throats? You want Darnold to drop back and throw the football? No problem. Now you're letting all of those rushers and Jared Verse and Kobe Turner and all of those guys that they have up front they got the opportunity to pin their ears back. They wasn't concerned about the run. And I think that now Philadelphia is going to run the football. That's the reason I think the Rams are kind of done today. I mean, but tomorrow.
And also, Jalen Hurts isn't a statue back there. Yeah. He's going to run. If he's laying open, he's going to run.
Off the strength of the weather and Saquon, man. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a situation. And then, too, the other game, I'm torn on Buffalo and Baltimore. You know what I mean?
That started out as a pick'em a few days ago.
Yeah, now I think Baltimore were 1.5, right? 1.5 point favorites over and under 51.5.
And they're the away team.
I think Buffalo win the game, man. I do. I think Buffalo gonna win the game. I think it's gonna be handily. I think they're gonna smash this team, man. I really do. But I'm not gonna say smash because Derrick Henry. I see it hard to believe that team get blown out with Derrick Henry back there, unless they just make mistake after mistake after mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Look, Buffalo, when they get tomorrow it's going to be a very cold night in Buffalo. I think it's going to be 13 degrees. This is going to feel more like minus 13. They might snow during the game. So you have all these elements, but I mean, these two teams, they play outdoors anyways, right? But still, it's going to be cold, right? If you're Buffalo, once you get the ball, you have to score every possession and cannot let Derrick Henry get started back there. You need to just stop it. And then essentially Lamar Jackson, you got to contain him. But Lamar's going to make plays. You know, that's just who Lamar is. Zay Flowers is probably not going to play tomorrow, so they're down there one.
Yep.
Right? So that's a big factor, in my opinion. But yeah, I think Buffalo's going to win tomorrow night.
I think you bet the money.
State chalk. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're talking about 1.5. Vegas knows how to get your money out of your pockets. So if
everyone's thinking, look, this team played last weekend. They had a huge win against Pittsburgh. Lamar had a big game. Derrick Henry had a big game. So in the sports book mind, they're probably like, hey, this is people probably going to want to pick. So let's go ahead and just put a little bit on it.
To make money, yeah. You're going to bet Buffalo.
Yeah, of course. Well, casino doesn't want to make money.
You can't even make really any money because I was going to say I think the play might be the money line on Buffalo and Baltimore, but it's nothing. I mean, it's really like it's even money on both teams. So, like you said, Walt, I think it may be that 1.5 might be just kind of to put that carrot in front of you a little bit. But I think Buffalo will win the game. Outright. So I look at a Final Four being chalk, man. You know, I think we can. That I would be very intrigued. You know, Eagles, Lions. Buffalo would have to go to Kansas City, and then here we go, man. Here we go. Buckle up if that happens. I think you're gonna have two incredible games, man, to go to the Super Bowl. And I would love to see it. You know, no gadgets, no feel good story, no Cinderella story, nothing, man. Just lining up, and you got 4 teams that just they gonna put it all out there. I think to make it to the Super Bowl. So, you know, we got to win this week. You know, everything's got to come to pass this week, but it's gonna be exciting, man.
I just want to comment on what Robert here was talking about. No, I got the Rams. That -6 got me. If the Eagles are truly that much better and supposed to win, it shouldn't be a -6. -6 is kind of big for a playoff game, though. You know,
Yeah. Yep, that's why
Fidel
this.
told me to bet 400 on Houston.
That's not true.
Yeah, broken
But you
tube would
said
be
it.
yeah, yeah.
Bet 400
But
on
you know what?
Kansas City.
If you try to make some money, even though we all believe the Eagles are going to win, if you try to make some money, I can see taking the Rams. I can see taking the Rams at those points.
That was the most compelling game as far as
Yeah.
the spread goes.
Well,
The
what
week.
about the? I don't know.
Well, besides
Houston.
the minus
I mean,
or
you
the
can bet
one.
Houston
Uh,
to
man,
lose by less than 9 points.
I think they're gonna lose by at
Houston
least
ain't beating
10.
no, not Houston, but Kansas City been struggling to beat anybody by 10.
I understand, Walt. This is playoffs. This team's been out for 2
But
weeks.
okay, but they played
They're
playoff
gonna.
brand of football all season. Bend but don't break defense.
I don't
Run
think
the
so.
football. Slow it down.
This is go time, man. 15 is gonna go
To
out there.
who?
He's gonna show out.
Who he's gonna
What do
throw
you
it
mean?
to?
He's gonna do it
He's
himself.
gonna turn into Lamar.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown's back.
Lamar Holmes.
Travis Kelce. I mean, he's had.
I
we don't know.
think Houston and Washington lose by 10, at least 10. You know what I mean? That's how I feel about it. You know.
Yeah,
One thing is how the game gonna be officiated, because you being honest, man, that Chiefs offensive line get away with a lot of shit, man.
They'll probably get away with a lot of shit today too. But hey, it's okay. Ain't only gonna make a difference. Houston's
Don't
not
get to
beating
the Super
Kansas
Bowl
City.
and start letting them get away, or keep letting them get away with a bunch of shit.
Man, you already know what that's gonna happen. But they got to get through Buffalo next week. They probably will, though. I like Casey.
Nah, I like Buffalo.
That's a
After
place of
that,
horrors for
it's
Josh Allen, man.
Josh Allen about to get it done, fellas. Buffalo going to Super Bowl, bro. They going.
I don't think so, but
all right, so man, let's get to these predictions for the Detroit Lions before we shake up out of here. I know everybody got a lot to do this Saturday morning. All three of us taking Detroit. I'm sure all three of us taking Detroit.
Yep.
Unless you're not. Hey, Fidel, you take it. Washington with the points.
What was the line again?
-8.
Eight and a half.
Minus 8.5. Detroit.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Okay. Well, I'm not.
No,
I'm taking
I'm
it too,
not.
Walt. I'm taking it. I'm taking the points. I think we pull away fourth quarter, 38-27. That's what I think.
I think you guys win by 10.
I think they it's just no
at least.
we're the better. We're gonna wear it. I think Brent said it. We'll just wear them down. I just think fourth quarter it's gonna be decided, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah, I just think for a team that struggles stopping the run as much as they do, and for a team offensively that does run the ball well, it's not get it twisted. It's not because of Brian Robinson. It's not because of Austin Eckler. It's because your quarterback. The reason you're number one fourth down percentage and number one third down percentage, because you have a quarterback when you have a mobile quarterback, that takes 3rd and 12 and turns that 3rd and 12 into a more manageable 3rd and 5, because your quarterback can get out there and scoop.
Do you guys don't even need David Montgomery?
I don't think you need him. It's gonna be motivation. The thing is, that's more energy
back,
in the room.
But I mean,
it's gonna be more electric.
If you could heal up for another week, and because the next weekend, you guys are gonna have your hands full playing the
I agree. I think we gonna need him more next week, man, than this week. You know, Craig Reynolds can do the job, man. Craig Reynolds can do the job. He's fine.
It's not gonna be a walk through the park next week, man.
Yeah.
We got Washington Commander fans all in here. Much respect, much love to y'all.
Buffalo starts cooking in the fourth.
Jaden.
Well, today
Lorenzo Allen says 40. Would it surprise you if Detroit routed them?
No. Man, look, I already told you they got to score touchdowns though. Every possession they got to score. Run the damn ball. Throw the damn ball.
I mean, I got
high
Detroit
tempo offense.
I got Detroit winning outright. I think they cover those 8.5.
I'll give you an X factor tonight. Jahmyr Gibbs in the passing game. I see him going over 100 yards receiving.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, I think that's very possible too. just for Commanders fans who haven't seen this, maybe. Jahmyr Gibbs has had a tremendous season. In case y'all didn't know, this guy right here is the truth. You're looking at 11 games with 100 plus yards from scrimmage. That's what y'all got to deal with. You're talking about a dude who's averaged 6.7 yards per touch. That's crazy for an offensive player, running back in this day and age in the NFL. 20 total touchdowns. He rushed for over 1,400 yards, had 70 first downs on his own on the season. So, as a Commanders fan, that's something also you guys got to deal with. You got 2,000-yard wide receivers out there in St. Brown and James Williams. You got Sam Laporta, the forgotten guy out there offensively. Y'all got a lot to deal with, man. Y'all got a lot to deal with, but
it's gonna be trouble.
But I'm telling you though, watch out for 22 in the passing game.
Is that James Jones? Is that James Jones for NFL Network? Hold on, both are very similar. How?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But yeah, Broken Tube.
That's all right though. We're giving him love for interaction.
Yeah, Broken Tube wanted to talk about the Patrick bet. He's still on that. I think he still. Did you put all that money in your bank account, Broken Tube, from that bet? That Tim Patrick. I felt good about that one, man. We both did, but I'm glad you cashed out on that one. Yeah, we didn't do any anytime promise. Next, we win this week, which we'll do our prop bets next week. You know what I'm saying? Player prop.
Hey, look, I'm telling you though, next weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be crazy. The Eagles and the Lions would be epic, man.
Yeah,
I think more so than the Rams and the Lions. I think the Eagles and the Lions would be like
the best two teams in the conference playing each other.
Man. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's gonna be good.
Get there. Yeah, Fidel, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Cool dude. I'm glad,
Yep.
Plug your stuff. Plug your stuff too. Why are you on here?
Yeah, Inside the Pylon. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. And you can find me on X, Fidel Talks NFL, and also on Instagram.
Hey, one thing before we get out of here, because we are kind of franchise-wise, Lions and Raiders kind of joined at the hip right now. Y'all want this guy, don't you? What's going to happen, Fidel? What's going to happen with this? Because we're hearing the line.
Already done.
No, it ain't.
It's already done.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Hey, look, let me tell you. You got Tom calling the game for Fox. You know damn well he's probably going to talk to him again today. Hey, man, what you think of what we talked about?
On a burner phone.
No,
that's Tom Brady got a burner phone, man. He's talking to
Nah, come on. He's just saying hello. He's just going to shake his head. And hey, you're looking at the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, and
Tom
it's all due to Tom.
With a Nokia, boy.
Hey, look, man.
Right, he got a TB. He got TB etched on the outside of a flip phone.
Is that a Boost Mobile you got, Tom?
Yeah.
It's a Sprint. Yeah. Hey, look, man. Tom being involved with this franchise is going to be a game changer. I think I read that the only reason why he even took the interview was because of Tom. So I think they get it done, man. I really do. It's kind of everything I've read. I mean, I haven't really heard much, anything reliable, but everything I've read kind of, points at him being the next head coach. If not him, Pete Carroll. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be Ben Johnson. Man, look, this franchise has gone through a lot. And, Tom owning a portion of the team is going to be big for the Raiders. This is going to be now, a team that's going to be able to get, attract free agents. Nevada also no state income tax, right? So, and then just having Tom, man, he's a winner. He's won, 7 championships. He knows what it takes to win, and just to name itself. But yeah, I think Ben Johnson is going to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
What do you think about Hendon Hooker?
And your backup quarterback might come along with him too.
Man. I mean, give us a pick.
Yeah.
Give us some picks.
I'll give you a 4th.
We'll take it. Yeah, for Hendon Hooker. I think that it's something there. You know what I'm saying? It's something there that can be unlocked. Yeah. I think with Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Because it's you, Fidel. Because you're a friend of the show, in general. I hope y'all get him if he goes anywhere instead of going to Chicago. I was just gonna say that. I can't. Just don't get out of our division. You know what I'm saying?
I think Mike McCarthy's
Yeah, I
going
would
to the
love
Bears.
that. Yeah, bring him
Oh,
on.
good for them.
I think
Good for them.
Yeah, I think that's where he's going. Cowboys are not having any interviews at all this week. I don't know this franchise. I don't know what the hell's going on with the Cowboys, but we probably know Deion Sanders is going to some way somehow ended up being the head coach there. You got Mike Zimmer there. Mike Zimmer was on Deion's staff a couple of seasons back. You don't have to replace the the defensive coordinator. You have some coaches staying on the staff. I think it's going to be Deion going to the Cowboys. The Jets job, I don't know. I really don't. Aaron Glenn, probably. Kind of seems like that's where he wants to go.
This morning,
preferred destination.
Good Morning Football, they was kind of talking about, he's an outside shot. He could get the job too in the Jets.
Outside shot. I mean, and look. I mean, I wasn't in Miami when all that stuff happened with Tua, but when you really think about it, they're going to draft a quarterback. Do you really want all this? I don't want to say clouds over the franchise with the whole Brian Flores situation, but do you want that for a rookie quarterback?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't know. And again, I don't know what's true and what's not true, but it's been out there, right? The whole, situation with him and Tua. I don't think he's going to go to the Jets. No. I really don't. I think it's going to be Aaron Glenn.
I had Glenn. I was just going to say, I had Glenn Peg to the
and then you
Saints. I was thinking maybe he might go.
Yeah. And then you got the Saints. Mike McCarthy, he used to be a coach. If I'm
Glenn, I like the Saints organization more than the Jets. I also look at that conference. It's winnable. I'm in a very winnable division in New Orleans. Like if I can hit the quarterback position good, they've got some picks. I'm not sure what their salary cap situation looks like right now, but
it's not that good. Yeah. It's really not. We're talking about a team that's kind of put a Band-Aid on the salary cap for
look how much money they had invested in that offensive line back when Peyton was there.
Well, they have a big decision to do, to Derek Carr.
He said he ain't taking less money. He got him all effed up.
I
ain't taking no less money.
That's a lot of money. Would you?
Where else is he gonna go? I think he's done as a starter.
No, it don't. No, I don't think he's done as a starter. He'll get brought in someone to compete. He's not done. Well, hey, that's better than being a backup. If you play well enough, you'll be the starter.
Man, it's possible.
And you saw Robert Saleh is going to get like the biggest contract of defensive coordinator in the NFL. It's probably going to go back to the Niners.
That's possible.
That's
just for James Jones, just to show you, James, and I appreciate you for joining us today, man. You've been nothing but respectful. We throw some shots at each other, but everything been good. Just to show you, we do have a lot of love for the Washington Commanders. Mm-hmm. This I felt was amazing because everyone felt like it was Sam Howell. It's not Sam. It's the organization. It's the offensive line. This shows you the difference that a quarterback makes and a head coach makes. To go from 4 wins to 12, 25th in the league's point scored last year to 5th this year. 32nd. This team was 32nd in points allowed defensively. He got them to 18th, which isn't great, but is a whole lot better. That's about an 8-point average difference between last year and this year. And the 32 turnovers last year to 16. Yeah. We know how many Sam Howell was responsible for last year, but shout out to Washington, man. Y'all got y'all one at quarterback. I'm a big Jaden Daniels fan, have been since he was at Arizona State. He's the consummate pro. Even when former teammates at Arizona State threw him under the bus and trashed him after he left, he still took the high road and still turned around and won the Heisman Trophy on them boards. Mm-hmm. That's the ultimate what up. What up. Wild. So, like I said, man, Washington, y'all got y'all one. We just think that y'all ahead of schedule this year, and there are teams that are better than y'all, but I do believe Washington, giving Dan Quinn another year to get some quality defensive players in there. And get you guys a legitimate running back because this is a running back rich draft.
Yeah.
And I think once you guys get a legit stud at running back, a couple of guys to help along that offensive line, get yourself a space eater on defense, nose tackle wise, get some corners, some safeties help in there. You guys are going to be a legitimate threat, I think, to the Philadelphia Eagles. Past Dallas. I think y'all passed Dallas already.
Yeah, already.
Y'all got continuity. Yeah. Like, it's not a shit show in Washington anymore.
Dan Quinn was in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, he was. He definitely was.
Yeah,
He definitely
no,
was,
yeah,
man.
sure.
Definitely was. But all right, man, let's hurry up and get up out of here, man. Fidel, like I said, want to thank you for joining us today, man.
Thank you,
Love
Fidel.
having you on the show.
Yeah,
Love
man.
Anytime,
having you
man.
on the
Appreciate.
show.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys
Appreciate
having
you,
me
man.
on. Appreciate
Yep.
it.
Today, you part of One Pride, man.
Thank you.
That's
I am,
right.
man. Let's
That's
go to
right.
Let's
Detroit.
go, man. We got a game 8:00 tonight. I gotta get to the meat market, get me some burger patties and all that stuff,
Yeah.
some cheese, some bread, so I
Yeah,
can head
let's
over
go.
my.
Yo,
Don't
that's
forget the
right.
cold beer.
Beer, some wings. We doing wings. So yeah, it's time to rock out, fellas. I think the Chiefs play first. So
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I already told the wife, like, hey, that game, we can go out and we can do things.
yeah,
I really don't
I
want
think
to
it's
watch
gonna
this
be a
game
dud too.
because I already know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yep.
So
All right, man.
All
See y'all tonight for this game. Till
Peace.
next time, One Pride.